So guys, I wanted to talk about the scout helicopters today because the scout helicopters are something that I've really started to feel are a bit of a power force in the game. The air vehicles I've had a little play around with since we began. Transport helicopters I always love, and there's some things to look at there I'll cover in another video. But the scout helicopters, I really feel they've been buffed pretty hard in this game so far. They're faster, they're more agile even though they have the momentum changes, plus the new armaments and upgrades. So for example, the main guns now used to only have the miniguns, 7.62 miniguns, but now we've also got the 25mm cannons. It's so fast that you can just get to stuff straight away. Look at this conquest game right here that we're in, and we were immediately able to get straight onto B here. You can cap this obviously from outside the base. Enemy helis in here, we start to have a little bit of an engagement. Missiles away to begin with right there. And he pops, but too late, down he goes. And it's really key to get those flares away. When you're at that close range, often it can be a little bit difficult to get those flares away in time, especially with the netcode situation as it is right now. So if you can be quick on those missiles, you can get them down straight away. But yeah, the helicopters so far, like I say, the Scout, I really am loving it. See the way you just fly down off these things. It's really a fantastic tool to use. And I've been getting more and more used to it. I used to find piloting in Battlefield really, really difficult. I always loved the dynamic of it. Look at this coming in here, got Snake coming in to pick me up. I always love this with helicopters. Looking back to Bad Company 2 as well, you get these moments a helicopter swoops down, picks you up, and then you're in the game. And even as a kind of repair gunner, you can have a role to play, because when you're sitting on the side of the heli like this, you can have a javelin or an igloo or a sting or whatever. That can be astonishingly powerful. You saw the video with me the other day with level cap, and you know, you're just sitting on the wing there helping take down these other scout helicopters. And if you're an engineer, you know, you're just repairing, and look at this, you can help cover guys on the ground at the same time as well. So there's loads of roles that you can have to play when you're actually engaging with people on the ground. But the other thing as well, this thing is a bit of a tank. It can really take a fair old kick to take it down, especially if you have sort of the whole double engineer setup going on. It can be brutal to take it down if you play it right. And I'm just having these kind of running engagements with this other helicopter right here. We're just kind of running back and forth, having these little fights, and in between I'm clearing stuff on the way. But as I say, it can be surprising how much it takes to take it down, and that comes into play here with the gyro stabilizer. Now the gyro stabilizer, that's a new device, a new upgrade, and what that does is it's an automatic system that helps you to stabilize the vehicle after receiving a critical hit. So it doesn't work every time, because sometimes momentum comes into play. If you're being hit by successive rounds from, for example, an LAV, like I've been in some rounds on Flood Zone, and you take some successive rounds from a vehicle on the ground, and it just turns a helicopter over. I like that actually, because it does kind of, it's a bit more realistic than just sort of taking those hits and nothing really happens. If you're taking some big shells to the heli, it's going to have an impact on how that thing is in the air, so I kind of like that. But if you've taken, like for example, a sting or whatever, and you take a critical hit, rather than just going out of control, the helicopter can kind of stabilize. It's a little bit easier to control, and I actually really like that as a feature. It works really well. But look at this power of the 25mm cannon here. Okay, I get a few hits on this boat, but it does hurt me. I'm taking the hits here. This gunner is on target, but look at this, coming in on this guy, and we wreck them right at the end there. It's really good. The 25mm cannon is devastatingly powerful against light armor. Heavy armor, it's not so much, but again, the only downside with the 25mm cannon, bit slower, less rounds there, so you've got to be a bit more careful about getting onto the targets, and you'll see in a minute when we have to do that with these guys on the ground right here. But I think more than anything else, the other problem is that the attack helicopters really kind of got nerfed a bit hard in the game. Here we are sort of going to be engaging some infantry in a minute. I'm taking multiple hits here. These guys really wanted us down, and we're sort of struggling to keep it under control from some of the hits, but you'll see a bit more of that in a moment. Here's this guy coming back for round 2, and he's really not sort of getting on par. Oh, he did manage to flare them away there. We're chasing him down, getting ready for the locks, fire another one away, and finish him off with the 25mm. So again, devastating powerful. Look, he's got his repair team up though. They're going for the old repairs. We're putting the rounds in, and I've got my guys on board as well who are helping lock, and all together a bit of teamwork. I think we've finished this guy off right here in a mo. But you see, as I say, you can have these kind of ongoing battles. Obviously we always had this in Battlefield 3, but it feels more exacerbated in Battlefield 4. I've had some epic struggles where you've just gone on and on and on trying to take one another down, and sometimes it ends up that the pilot takes you out. You know, a good tip as well though, if you are a scout pilot, and you're trying to engage these other guys, you know, other aircraft teams, and I say teams, i.e. pilot and double engineers, when you are piloting, try and get onto the side, try and take those engineers out, because once you've taken those engineers out, they have no ability to repair. They're weakened. If you can get the AA missiles, maybe some of your engineers can finish them off as well, or if you're Jack Frags, just snipe them out with a pistol. But no, I'm really loving it, and as I say, you see they started to sort of really be aware of the fact that we were dominating in the air, and they start firing the stingers and stuff, and obviously once I've used up my defences, it becomes difficult for me to sort of repel that. We've got our ECM back up again here, but yeah, with the attack helicopters being kind of nerfed, I think the Scout really steps forward a little bit. I mean, it was always pretty good with the laser missiles as well and things like that, but it's much more so now. It seems to just have a stronger role with the attack heli kind of being weakened. How is the attack heli weakened, you say? Well, it's, you know, there's the whole locking issue with netcode as well, which is not fantastic right now. That doesn't help it. The other issue is the speed of the vehicle. The speed of the attack heli is just so slow compared to the Scout helicopter. Scout helicopter is really agile, nippy, you can fly in and around the buildings, and to be honest, it just feels like a better tool all around. I know it's my kind of go-to device, and you guys will have seen me in the rounds that I've been showing recently. I've had some really fantastic helicopter rounds, and as I say, I've had some little bit of practice here and there before, but it's not really something that I've had like hours and hours of time in, yet you can do adequate. Here you can see me taking round after round after round, and I'm getting double engineered up. Look, we're just hanging in there on 30 health. I'm trying to maintain control of the helicopter, but I was also trying to get over here so I could get out of line of sight of these guys, but we pay them back in a mo. But anyway, there we are, guys. That's my little thoughts about the Scout Heli. How have you been finding it? One other thing, I know people always ask me, I just use mouse and keyboard right now. I use mouse and keyboard for piloting. I did do a little video a little while back, about a week or two ago, where I showed a very simple tip that you can do to improve your piloting. Like if you're not comfortable piloting, if you never feel that it's very comfortable when you get in, I did a very simple keyboard change. Okay, it's just a keyboard binding change, and I'll show you that one. But also another thing to note, look at this right here. Okay, you think that the helicopters are like invincible, that they're too powerful? Nothing is invincible in Battlefield. Okay, rock, paper, scissors, always. And I see the heli coming up in here. He was ready for us. He was on the go. And look at this. We got one of the special pickup weapons, and down he goes. Didn't try to flare. But you know, the other thing as well, I was playing with Supra, and there was this transport heli. It was just invincible. He would not go down. Double engineer deal. It was just on and on and on, and we were struggling like hell. He was really being a devastating problem, dropping C4, locking vehicles from the air. It was just a nightmare. This transport heli had a full team, and our team was not helping to take it down at all. So what do we do? Well, me and Supra were very clever, sort of timing our locks, trying to fake him to flare and so on and so on, and then we would release double missiles, and together we managed to take him down. And this is the point, is always, you know, nothing is invincible. This is why when people say, oh, it's OP or whatever, it's not OP. It's just that, oh, by the way, I have a really frustrating, I thought I was a bit like, oh no, it's all going out of control, no. I managed to keep control, but nothing is OP. Okay, if you have the right teamwork in place, you can get things done, and often it doesn't need a whole team. We're talking 3 or 4 people, and I have a little bit of an air battle here towards the end. So anyway, guys, hope you have enjoyed. What do you think about the Scout helicopter? Have you been piloting? Do you think, have you been on the receiving end and it's kind of not good for you? Let me know. But so far, I'm enjoying it. I'll have a bit more of a detailed kind of guide talking about the Scout heli, its upgrades, what you might want to choose, and all this kind of stuff. But right now, early on, we're just sort of thinking about how we're enjoying the game, what's the best to get out of it, and so far, I'm really enjoying the Scout helicopter. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. More stuff coming this week very soon. Battlefield 4.